this is something, people call, socialistic. It's not socialistic. It's reality. Why does this happen? Why did the rich get richer faster than ever before? Well, there is a reason for that. The reason for that is um, they have holding power, number one, and they can borrow money at very, very, very low interest rates, or they did borrow money at absolute zero rate for the last 15 years, right? When we had ZIRP going on, zero interest rate policy, um, that's what they did. They borrowed and purchased assets, and then assets become rarer, right? And that includes real estate, that includes stocks, that includes everything else. And then what happens, right? Their overall percentage of the wealth goes much higher compared to the average American. But then here's the deal, right? On this channel, what we're going to do is we're going to try to join the rich, right? We're going to try to figure it out in a way that, and how does that happen? That comes with compounding, right? And I talked about the rule of 72 with you guys in the past. That comes with compounding, and that's what start investing, right? Because these people invest. When they borrow the money, they go buy real estate to create passive income. When they borrow the money, they go buy commercial real estate. They go buy, look what's happening, right? All the private equity funds have been buying up houses. People like Bezos's and BlackRock's, right? All they have done is buy houses, and then they have controlling the rents, and then they're creating, income sources for themselves. And then so quick example of this would be this, right? Okay, so Fed raised the rates to 5% on short-term T-bills over the last 2 years. If somebody had $100 million, they're getting $5 million in interest on that. Well, what do you think they're doing with that $5 million? Do you think they're going blowing it? Yeah, some people are, but mostly the rich are getting richer by taking that $5 million and investing it. Okay. And so it works for both of them. When the rates are high, it works for them because their return on the cash that they're holding is going through the roof. And then when the interest rates are zero, they have the ability to borrow at zero and then invest in assets that can return them 6, 8, 10, 12%. And that's why the rich are getting richer. So the top 40% U.S. income earners hold 83% of the total net worth in the country. Think about this, people. Top 40%. So how do we get into that top 40%? You start investing. You start doing exactly what they're doing. There is a reason they're successful. There's a reason they own 83% of the total net worth in the country. Top 20% account for 71% of the total net worth, up 10 percentage points over the last 2 decades. Why? Zero interest rate, ZIRP policy. Borrow at zero, invest at 5, 6, 8, 10. And every 6 years, if you're getting 12%, every 6 years, you're doubling, right? That's the compounding part. On the other hand, the bottom 40% of the income household hold only 8% of the wealth. See what's happening here, right? So if you're in the bottom 40%, you need to put your house in order. Obviously, you need to have a budget. Don't borrow money that you cannot pay back. Don't buy shit that you don't need. So moreover, the bottom 20% of earners reflect just 3% of U.S. wealth, okay? So you guys have to understand what's going on here and join the party. Okay. Again, a lot of people tell me, oh, Sergio, I'm only like 55 years old. I'm too old to invest. No. It's never too late to start investing. I talked about DCA, right? Dollar cost averaging. You don't have to be a stock jockey like me. You can just invest long term. You can do both. You can have a long term portfolio and you can have a short term portfolio. So over the last few years, the rich have gotten richer. Absolutely. Most consumers are struggling. That's a fact. But look at the chart where I put the big red oval, right? Look what is happening, right? The top quintile of income earners hold 71% of net wealth in Q1 2024. And it keeps going the higher. So, for example, we had the massive 10, 12, 14% pullback in NASDAQ and 10% almost on the S&P 500. That was your time right there. It gave you an opportunity to get into, if you never invested before, start buying some ETFs or, I talked about high yield dividend funds and things like that. I mean, you have to start. The start is the tough part. Once you start, you're on your way. So, rich are getting richer. A lot of you are going to say, well, yeah, the government's set up that way, this and that. Yeah, but forget the government. You're your own government. Okay. I am my own government here in my house. This is my country. You got to run your country properly. Okay. And if you don't, you're going to be just in the same boat as the federal government, which is 35 trillion in debt, right? If you run your country properly, you have a definitely, especially in this country, unlike other places around the world, you have a chance here in this country to join that, top 40 or top 20%. And by the way, people think, always think of Bezos's and Gates and Musk's about that. No, it's not about trillions. You all should understand, if you are earning $200,000 in this country per year, you're in the top 2% of earners. This is not a joke. You guys can go Google that. 200,000 is in the top 2%. 100,000 is in the top 5%. You may all think, oh, it's not that much money. I'm like, yeah, go do it. And, get into that top 20, top 40% and start accumulating assets. It could be all kinds of assets. It could be, obviously a lot of people do it in real estate because then let's say you go buy an investment property, rent it out. Well, it's creating cash flow for you, right? That's how you compound. That's how you grow your wealth.